Last year, Americans reported losing nearly $800 million to scammers impersonating a government agency, a jump of more than a quarter in a single year. The Social Security Administration is one of the most frequently impersonated agencies in the country. And the newest version of this scam doesn't even need a script anymore. It can use a voice that sounds exactly like someone you love. This is how it actually works and how to make sure it never works on you. This isn't a new kind of crime, it's a very old one wearing a new costume. Centuries ago, one of the earliest documented confidence tricks in recorded history worked like this. A letter would arrive claiming to be from a wealthy nobleman, secretly imprisoned and unable to reach his own fortune. He needed a small sum of money, urgently and quietly, to bribe his way to freedom, and in return, he promised to repay his rescuer many times over. Historians call it the Spanish prisoner scam, and the mechanics are almost identical to what's happening on American phones today. A fabricated authority, a story built entirely around urgency, and a demand for secrecy and silence. The costume has changed. Letters became phone calls became spoofed caller ID, and now caller ID is starting to come with an AI generated voice attached. But the three levers, authority, urgency, secrecy, have not changed in hundreds of years. Today, the wealthy nobleman has been replaced by a much more believable character, a Social Security or Medicare employee. The call usually starts the same way. Your Social Security number has been suspended. There's suspicious activity on your account, or your benefits are at risk. The voice sounds calm, official, sometimes even uses a real employee's name. And it works because almost everyone has a social security number. Almost everyone has heard of the agency. And almost nobody knows exactly how the real one is supposed to contact them. Here are the numbers, straight from the FTC's own reporting. In 2022, adults 60 and older reported losing $1.6 billion to fraud. In 2023, that number rose to 1.9 billion. In 2024, it reached $2.4 billion, and the FTC is explicit that the real total is almost certainly higher because most fraud is never reported at all. Government impersonation is now one of the most reported scams of all. The FTC has logged around 160,000 reports of it in a single year, and losses to these scams reached $789 million in 2024. And Social Security scams carry a real price tag. AARP cited reporting puts the median loss for an SSA scam victim at around $500, well above the median loss for fraud overall. For victims between 70 and 84 years old, one quarter's average loss was reported at over $14,000. For decades, the advice was simple. A stranger's voice asking for money is a red flag. That advice just got more complicated. Scammers now use a short audio clip pulled from a voicemail greeting, a social media video, even a few seconds of you saying hello to train an AI model that can recreate a real person's voice. Then they call an older relative with a fabricated emergency, an arrest, a car accident, a hospital visit, always urgent, always insisting on secrecy. The voice on the other end isn't an impersonation anymore. It's a convincing copy of someone you actually trust. The trick hasn't changed: authority, urgency, secrecy. But the authority can now sound like your own grandchild. It's tempting to assume only careless people fall for this. The data says otherwise. High dollar losses are common even among financially literate retirees. That's because panic, not ignorance, is the actual mechanism. A threat of arrest or a family emergency is designed to shut down careful thinking in seconds and replace it with one instinct: act now, ask questions later. Scammers don't need you to be fooled forever. They only need 30 seconds of fear. So, how do you actually tell a real call from a fake one? Three checks matter more than instinct alone. First, what the real Social Security Administration says about itself. It generally only calls people in a few specific situations. If you recently applied for a benefit, if you already received payments and need an update, or if you requested a callback. It will never threaten arrest, demand immediate payment, or ask for gift cards, cash, wire transfers, or cryptocurrency. Second, never trust caller ID by itself. Spoofing technology lets scammers display a real agency's number or even a relative's real number on your screen. A familiar name or number proves nothing about who is actually on the line. Third, for any family emergency call, agree on a code word in advance. Hang up and call the person back directly using a number you already have saved, never a number the caller gives you. If money was already sent, contact your bank immediately, then report it to the FTC and the SSA's Office of Inspector General. None of these requires becoming suspicious of every phone call you get. It requires one habit. When a call creates urgency and asks for money or personal information, the call itself is the red flag, regardless of who it claims to be. Hang up, verify independently, and only then decide what to do. The Spanish prisoner needed a letter and a postage stamp. Today's version needs a phone number, and increasingly, a few seconds of your own voice. The tools changed, the defense didn't. Slow down, verify independently, and never let urgency make the decision for you. That's what this channel is here for, not to make you afraid of the phone, but to make sure fear is never the thing deciding for you. Subscribe, and next time we'll look at a slower version of this same trick: the romance scam that doesn't take 20 minutes, but months to drain a retirement account.